Good day, ladies and gentlemen, Thrive here, and welcome to the very first of several videos I've gotten made for the Australia pack, which is launching this morning. And to start off my way around the Australia pack, we're going to kick it off with the animal overview. So in this video, we're going to be doing an in-depth look at all the brand new animals we got, all 5 of them, from the eastern blue-tongued lizard to the red kangaroos, koalas, cassowaries, and dingoes. I want to give my thoughts on them, and actually here's how we're going to do it. We're going to start in order by taking a look at the model and its animation. We're going to check out the feeding and drinking animation, then how it interacts with its enrichments, unique things about it, whether that be the mating animation, the fighting animation, or something special that you just don't, that's not in every animal, or anything else that's unique about them. And then we're going to end with my overview and rating all of them. And especially we're going to end the video with a ranking. I'm going to rank all the creatures based on my own thoughts. And yeah, so I don't want to waste too much time. We have a lot to look at. We're going to begin with the tank animal. And also, this is my world we're doing it in. I quickly put it together to at least give some kind of a nice setting in the background. So let's begin with the eastern blue-tongued lizard. Alright guys, so of course starting out with the tank animal, because yes, I do like to give them credit, I do like to check out these guys. I know many people usually overlook the new tank animals. I mean, this is only the second one we've had, and it's still impressive, but I know the average person doesn't really care about the tank animals. Thankfully, some people like me do, because I like them. They're cool creatures to have. Sure, they may not be as amazing as our habitat animals, but at least they put work into them still. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, based on everything I've seen, this is one of the best tank animals in the game, in my opinion. So obviously all we can really look at is model and animation for them. I'm still gonna give my overall thoughts, but in terms of model, of course, this eastern blue-tongue, I call them eastern blue-tongue skinks, because that's what they are. Last I checked, they are skinks. But you can also call them lizard, just eastern blue-tongue lizard, because that's what they are, and that is what they call them in the game. But the model here is just amazing. Like, I mean, come on, they put some serious good craftsmanship into the model, just like they did with the red-eyed tree frog, So obviously, post-tank animals, they have more time to work on, and it really shows. Just like the previous one, they went all out in terms of model, and even the animation is actually a bit unique to them. I thought it took the Gila Monster animation. I looked closely at it, and actually, it's a bit unique, as far as I can tell. I'm sure maybe they took some things from it, but it does appear to be its own rig. And I really like it. Like, this is actually seriously a beautiful animal in the game. Even if it's just a simple tank lizard, those scales we're looking at are well done. And I hope you guys agree. I hope this gives some people some appreciation for any form of new tank animal. Plus, I would not be surprised if down the line, maybe in the next DLC, they will improve upon the tank creatures. Hopefully give us an update to them one day. But for now, getting some new tank animals every once in a while is something I'm a fan of. So yeah, if it wasn't obvious already, my overall thoughts are pretty happy with this one. Sure, I would have liked other tank animals as well in this pack. I had I had my hopes for the frilled neck lizard or the inland taipan. My little brother actually wanted the giant huntsman spider. I for sure would have loved some more tank animals, or would have picked a different one, honestly. But I'm really happy we got this. And in terms of tank animals and comparing it to others, I think this is actually one of the best. I think this is a 10 out of 10 creature. I know it seems kind of ridiculous to rate just a simple creature in the game, a creature that's this simple, but I can't help myself. I like them, I appreciate them, and this is a job well done, Frontier. Alright, now we've got the tank animal out of the way, let's go ahead and move on to the habitat creatures. We're going to start off with the star of the pack, obviously the red kangaroo. Alright, then hoppy boys. The red kangaroo is for sure one of the most exciting creatures in this pack for many people, as with me. Now, we definitely have a lot to look at here. Of course, we're going to start with the model, and then we're going to explore the animation as we look at the creature itself. Also, forgot to mention, of course, we'll be looking at the babies as well for all these creatures. And so, yeah, in terms of model, already you guys can see that they look really good. Now, I only have one small gripe with the model, and that's the fact that the head here looks slightly too broad for me. It's a small nitpick, but I've been looking at them for a while now, and I can kind of see it in the snout. It just looks slightly too broad, you know, like right along the curve. Right here looks a little too much. I don't know why. It's literally my only gripe in terms of model, and I don't usually ever complain about the models. But I've seen red kangaroos quite a lot in my life. My own local zoo has them, and I've just noticed that it's just it looks a little iffy. But I can get past it. I can live with it because I don't think it's anything that'll ever change. Still, though, besides the model, besides that one gripe about the model, it does look really well. The fur shading on this one, the fur texturing looks really good with this one. Sometimes they've used this kind of fur texturing on certain animals before, like the orangutan, and it hasn't looked as good, but it looks really well here with the kangaroo. So, just to conclude with the models and animation, as we basically have come to expect from Frontier every time, they have seriously outdone themselves. The red kangaroo is incredibly solid in terms of model and animation. Again, I had my small gripe about the bit too broadness in the snout, or I think you can call it the muzzle, but again, I can get past that. Maybe I'm the only one who complains about it, but overall, just super satisfying. Now, there are other really unique things about the kangaroo in this game that are worth praising, with one con. I do have one issue with them that I'm going to save for last, because I can't show it in this video. It's not really about it. I will be able to talk about it in one of my upcoming videos today, but I'll still mention it in this video, and maybe I'll even show you guys a little bit of footage, but we'll save it for the end. Let's still look at all the positives. Let's go take a look at the feeding, drinking, and then we'll even look at the enrichment interaction animation. And here, guys, is the drinking animation. And here we have a good look at the feeding animation. Of course, they use one of the typical herbivore trays. It works well for them. Honestly, it looks really good. Now, sure, the animals don't actually touch the food. That's kind of how it is with all the animals, but it looks good. And now we take a look at the enrichments. Alright, guys, so here are all the enrichments for the kangaroo. Now, none of them are new or unique. They're kind of more original. We have grazing ball feeder, a hanging barrel feeder, suspended forager, and the hanging grazer feeder. These are all the feeding enrichments, obviously. And then for toys, we have the large ball, the scent marker, a large snowball, and a sprinkler. So let's go ahead and test out one of these enrichments on them. Nothing like spending a hot day in the outback, chilling with a sprinkler. Of course, they do use the sprinkler. It makes sense. Every animal needs to cool off a little bit. It looks cool, like straight up. Sure, they don't have any new enrichments, but I just love it. Oh, and also, yeah, for some reason, our keepers now jump up with joy when they don't have to feed them. I don't know why. Alright, now, guys, when it comes to baby kangaroos, and same thing goes to the koala, baby joeys in general, how does it work in the game? Is it done in a special way? Do we even have joeys, or they just, appear out of thin air like every other creature? Well, this takes some time, because yes, they actually do have joeys emerge from the pouch, and it's freaking incredible. Now, this girl right here is pregnant and is expecting offspring very soon, and we're going to carefully look at how this happens. But you will literally see the pouch get bigger as every month goes by, and eventually, I'm not kidding, but you actually get to see the joey emerge from the pouch. Oh, and you can actually see it right there. You see the little black thing down there? Yeah, that's the joey. I'm not kidding you guys. Very soon, we are going to see this joey emerge from the pouch. It'll pop its head out, look at its mom, and climb into the world, quite literally. It's amazing. Alright, you guys, I think it's about to happen. Finally, after a couple months, we are here. Here we go. Look at that little pouch. Just keep your eyes on it. And very soon, a baby koala, I almost called it koala, baby kangaroo. Oh, there you go! That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the miracle of birth of marsupials in Planet Zoo. They did it. And you can even click on the joey and see it inside of the mother's pouch. That is amazing. We have got to give Frontier a round of applause for this. They didn't have to do this. I mean, obviously people would be upset if they didn't, me included, but they did it. We have true marsupials, and yes, this can also work with the koala we will take a look at last. Okay, let's finish this, shall we? And there you go. The miracle of birth is really a thing in Planet Zoo with the kangaroos. I mean, that is accurate to how it really is. I mean, sure, maybe not fully accurate, but it is basically how it works. The joey develops in the pouch, and then eventually, when it becomes too big and it doesn't need the nurture anymore, it just heads its way on out and is into the world. Now, unfortunately, you don't see the joeys climb back into the pouches. Usually, it's like the moms will start to close off their pouch and just they have to let the joeys, begin to live for themselves in the world. So it's accurate enough. You don't see them try and climb back in, at least from what I've seen. But oh my god, it's so amazing. Like, this is absolutely one of the greatest things about the new kangaroo in Planet Zoo, and honestly one of the greatest things I think ever in Planet Zoo. The fact that they fully pulled off the reproduction of a marsupial alone is amazing. So Frontier, you did it. You gave us some true marsupials. Alright guys, so we have basically looked at everything I've wanted to. We have checked out the model, the animation, we've seen them feeding, drinking, interacting with at least one of their enrichments, and of course we have seen them do the very unique thing that they do in the game, which is be a marsupial and give birth a very unique way. It's incredible, quite frankly. So I just want to give my overall thoughts. Now, I know I sound like I'm being a bit overly positive here. I haven't really said anything majorly negative about them, maybe except my one little gripe about how the face doesn't look perfect. But really, for the most part, they are well done, besides one thing that I have yet to mention. There is something about the kangaroos in the game that actually ruins them for me. I'm not kidding. I know this has been a really good look so far at them, but there is one thing that just ruins it. And that is the unfortunate fact that we can actually not have kangaroo walkabouts. They are not compatible with walkabout exhibits. I'm not kidding. I have tested this out plenty of times, and every time I open up a new walkabout exhibit with kangaroos, the guests freak out and they end up running out in terror over a red kangaroo. And the day I discovered that, which was pretty early on, it really disappointed me. Like, one of the main things that I wanted to do with the kangaroos was build a walkabout exhibit. That's pretty much the only time I'll ever use kangaroos, is to build a walkabout exhibit. I don't want to do an exhibit where you just look at them from the distance. That's stupid. Like, they've been used so many times in walkabouts. Seeing a zoo do that in a modern day would just look ridiculous, because, I mean, come on, they are walkabout animals. They are the famous creature that you can actually get close with and enjoy from a very near distance, or maybe even like right up close and personal in a walkabout. It's amazing. I mean, I love walkabout exhibits in zoos, and they're done so many times. It's an overused concept, but they're so much fun just to be in the same space with these really impressive animals. And the fact that we can't do that, at least at the time of me making this video, is really upsetting. Now, besides that one massive gripe, because that is a big issue for me, I really like the kangaroo. The animation, of course, is well done. The models are beautiful for the most part. Again, I have my small gripe about the head, but I can get past that quite easily. I really do like them. They are very amazing animals. The fact that they can be proper marsupials and not do it the same typical way that every other animal does in the game and gives birth through the actual pouch like they do in the wild is amazing. I feel pretty darn satisfied with the red kangaroo, and if I had to give it a score out of 10, I'd probably give it an 8.5. We've been waiting for this creature for so long, and honestly, I feel like it has been worth the wait, and I hope you guys agree. Now, with all that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the second habitat animal, that being the southern cassowary. Now, instantly, right off the bat, there is one thing that's very clear about the southern cassowary in Planet Zoo, and that is that it looks freaking amazing. I mean, just look at the detail on that head. It's the best work I've seen in this game. It looks real. It's scary how real it looks. Just as all the other birds in the game, I knew Frontier had the skills to make well done birds. You know, the flamingos were amazing, the Indian peafowls were really good, and same thing with the ostriches, and they did not disappoint with the southern cassowary. This is just amazing. I can't get around how well the cassowary looks. And this is a cassowary animation done well, done very well. You know, they are just slow stalkers. They just make their way around, looking at everything, getting a good visual look, and they nailed the animation. And yes, the animation is unique. It is not the same as the ostrich like some people predicted. It can't be. The ostrich are way more maneuverable, more fast, more energetic, and have wings that they flap to cool off. Emu is nothing like, I mean, I'm sorry, I called it the emu, which is funny because I also would have been happy with an emu. I know other people wanted the emu, but I know the majority of people wanted the cassowary, and I think it's because it's more unique and it's more exciting. I do not blame Frontier for picking the cassowary over the emu. It's quite frankly a more exciting and a more popular species now. And while emus definitely are more Australia-esque. They definitely live way more in Australia than this guy. These guys live in more New Guinea. I don't blame them, and it's still great to have. And as I was saying before that, the animation is, yes, not the ostrich. It has its own unique animation, and again, it can't have the ostrich animation. They're very different. Now, with all that being said, let's move on with the feeding, drinking, and enrichment animations, and then we'll take a look at the babies and the unique the unique mating has to come first, and then the babies, and then we will finalize with my overview of the southern cassowary. And here is the look of the drinking animation. Now, I said that the I keep calling them emus, but I said that the cassowary has its own animation. I did forget to mention that the smaller things, such as eating and drinking, is taken from the ostrich, and I'm not surprised. It's easy to make that, but just the simple things like that are copied over. But again, the walking, the running, no wing flap animation, it does make the cassowary more unique. And here we are with the feeding animation. And again, just like the ostrich, taking simple things, I believe this is the exact same feeding animation, which I have absolutely no problems with. It's the simple stuff that doesn't matter as much. It's more about the overall animation to the creature, and again, it's rather unique. Look at the running animation. That's not like the ostrich. It's very different, while being its own thing at the same time, and taking the smaller stuff. So, yeah, with that being said, I think I've said enough about the animation. You guys have seen the eating and drinking. Let's quickly go ahead and take a look at the enrichments and see it interact with at least one of them. So, for the southern cassowary enrichment, for food, we have their forage box and the slow feeder, and that's it for food enrichment. And we also have for toys the mirror mobile, the small ball, the small ball colorful, scent marker, sprinkler, and a snowball. So let's go ahead and see them, at least test out one of these enrichments. And here we have the big female testing out the mirror enrichment. I never really got how the birds use this. They just do. They just squawk at it and call it a day. Now, just like how one of the unique things with the kangaroo was the birthing, of course, it being a marsupial and having a unique birth, the unique thing to look at with the cassowary is the mating. It's very particular, as you're seeing right here. Literally, the male just walks casually around the female, and yes, the female is the bigger one. And now they're mates, and very soon we should have some cassowary babies, which we'll be looking at next. And then I will do my overview of them. But it's kind of unique. Like, really, that's a cool mating animation, in my opinion. Alright, guys, now finally we're going to see the miracle of birth of the cassowary in the game. To go ahead and end off the showcasing of it before I do my overview. And of course, the babies are adorable. Now this really is how cassowary babies look. They look very interesting. Just like the baby ostriches, they have unique colorings to them, unique patternings, very interesting, and so cute. Look, I'm a huge fan of birds, so this is so awesome to actually have another bird. I've said that enough with these guys, but it's true. I cannot appreciate enough how much it means to have another bird in the game. And my god, these babies, they're so cute. I just love them. Right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, with my final overview for the southern cassowary. So we've seen the animals just do their thing with their animation, look at the beautiful models, see them use their eating, drinking animation, interacting with enrichment items. We've seen the unique mating animation they have, and of course these super adorable babies. So, I mean, I think my thoughts are pretty obvious about this cassowary, the cassowary, but I definitely want to just finalize it. Now, again, the biggest thing for me is the fact that we just have a new bird, and we have the cassowaries. I would have been fine with the cassowary or the emu, and I'm really happy that they went with the cassowary, because it is my favorite bird in the world. And, I mean, they're dinosaurs. I mean, who doesn't want that? The best thing about the in-game cassowary is the fact that there are no issues. There are no issues whatsoever. I can't find a single thing to complain about, which is great, because I have things to complain about all the rest, except the cassowaries, which may just make them the best animal in this DLC, at least for me. Again, everything is perfect. They are the best animal in terms of being perfect with this pack. The model's great, the animation is great. Sure, it's not complex, but it fits them wonderfully. Their animations, their unique animations, are basically as good as you'd want them to be. The mating's unique. I enjoy their enrichments. It's perfect in every way. And again, I can't say that for the other creatures, which is why I'm praising this one the most. This is the best creature in the pack, I think. Maybe that'll change as we take a look at the last two. But so far, this is an incredibly solid animal inclusion. Everything about it is justified, including its own inclusion. And I want to end it by giving it a rating of 10 out of 10 for me, compared to the real-life counterpart, based on everything. I'm sorry, I know I keep repeating the same stuff, but it's the truth. The cassowary is going to be a fan favorite, I just know it. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the second to last creature, the dingo. And here we are with the dingo, easily the most controversial pick of all the animals, I believe. A lot of people have a lot of gripes with their inclusion, including me. So let's go ahead and dive deeper and discover if it's really all that bad. Okay, so what's my problem with the inclusion of the dingo? And well, it's plain and simple. We didn't need it. We just didn't. Now, obviously, the pack was going to have like four habitat animals as usual. It seems to be the way they're going about it. So I would have much preferred that this fourth animal be any other Australian animal. Like I mentioned this in my video talking about the DLC. It's the truth. I would have picked any other Australian animal. They would have been better than the dingo. And that's I'm not trying to be a hater for the dingo, because I'm not gonna lie, after I've experienced them, they're better than I thought they were, and I feel rude to say that they're like bad. They're not bad in the game. That's one thing that's really positive I can say, is that within itself, the dingo is a good creature, and we're gonna find out why as we continue through. But I still just did not like them at first, and I still don't really like them here now. They're definitely still my least favorite of all of them. I really still think they should have went the extra mile and given us something else special, whether that be a whole nother third marsupial or something super basic. I don't care. Like, I would have even taken a freshwater crocodile, which, yeah, probably would have even been a copy and paste, but even then, the dingoes, they don't even really, in the real world, they don't even look like real wild dogs, but they are, I guess. At least in the game, they look more wild. And actually, now that we're talking about looks, the model on the dingo is really well done. The model is incredible. I will give him credit there. I mean, within itself, the dingo is impressive in the game. It's just the inclusion that bothers me. And then, of course, the animation, it's you know, it's the canine animation. Though it does seem to work really well with the dingo, better than the others if I'm being honest. You know what, I just realized something. Perhaps these are the last canines we'll ever get added to Planet Zoo, so maybe that just makes me appreciate them a little bit more. I don't really know. It's interesting. Now, as I said, the models look great, the animation is what you'd expect, but it works well. Why don't we go ahead and move on to something a little bit more interesting. How about we take a look at the feeding, drinking, and enrichment interaction. Here is our look at the drinking animation. You know, just like all the other canines. I must say, the canine animation, for some reason, works especially well with these guys. Probably because they look more like a canine than all the others. Definitely give them credit there. Now let's go ahead and take a look at that eating animation. And now we have a good look at the feeding animation. Again, just like the drinking animation, fits perfectly well with the canine animation. It really does look good. I will give them credit. The more I've looked at the dingoes, the more I'm seeing, if anything, actually a more unique and better rigged canine animation. Perhaps it's better than all the others, or it's more unique than the others. I don't know, I gotta be honest. Even though this is like a mid-thought thing before we finalize it, I am honestly considering this to be one of the best canines in the game. But anyway, though, since we've now seen them eat, drink, we've had a good look at the model, we have seen the animation, I've given my pre-thoughts and even just gave a bit of a mid-thought. Let's go ahead and take a look at some more unique things about them, from mating to hunting, and those puppies as well. And then we will finalize the dingo. Oh, and also, can't forget about the enrichment. Let's take a look at the enrichment first. Alright guys, now really quickly taking a look at the enrichment, I'm quite surprised. There is a lot of enrichment for the dingoes. A lot of unique things, and I actually find that to be a pretty cool positive. So, not too many food enrichments. Basically the stereotypical enrichments you see with the canines in the game. But then we get into some new stuff. We have a bubble blower, we have a tug rope, which I believe is a new enrichment. We have blood scent, block of ice, a chew toy, small ball colorful, small ball, prey scented sack, a small ball ice enrichment, a sprinkler, and one of the new enrichments, a habitat pool for them, which is really cool. So we're going to go ahead and test out one of these enrichments, and we'll see how they do with it. Of course, I had to test out one of the more eye-catching new enrichments. This is really cool. Check this out. Wow. That is something very unique with this pack, and unique to the dingo as well. That is an amazing enrichment. I know a lot of people were mentioning it in the trailer because it just kind of, I don't know, it caught a lot of attention. And as you just saw, which honestly I would not even have guessed it's for the dingo, but as you just saw, it is a really cool enrichment for them. I gotta be honest, I loved that. Anyway though, as I said before, let's go ahead and move on to the more unique things with the dingo. Alright guys, here is our good look at the dingo mating animation. Looks actually very realistic to canines. Now, I figured this isn't the only unique thing we should look about them. Let's go ahead and take a look at them hunting. Now, I know I'm a horrible person for doing this. I said we'd be taking a look at the hunting animation, and yes, we are going to test it out. We've seen the mating, we will soon see some puppies, but, you know, we have to see what the dingoes are important for, which is to keep kangaroo population at control, because trust me, these little buggers can breed like crazy. So the dingoes are here in Australia, even though they don't originate, it turns out they're kind of a big help. They apparently, you know, keep the numbers of kangaroos low. So let's actually find out if it'll work. I've never tested this out yet. Oh crap. Well, there you have it. So glad I was recording because that happened out of nowhere. Had no time to prepare for that. So there you have it. They can hunt the kangaroos as they naturally do. Damn, that was fast. And they go in again. Holy crap. Jeez, settle down, guys. Wow, that's actually really awesome and sad at the same time. Oh, I'm sorry, kangaroo. Gee, its eyes are still. Oh my god, they're going at it again. Alright guys, it's baby time. Just like with the previous two, we're going to be here to watch the dingoes, watch our female here give birth to the most adorable puppies in the game. I'm not kidding. These may just be the cutest, and they actually come in litters. If just give it a moment, you'll see for yourself. And as you can see here, literally multiple have come out. There's a third one. Yep, I figured there would be. That is really cool. So just like with real dingoes, litters are made, not just an individual one. And oh my god, can we talk about the babies? Oh wow. I already said how the models on the dingoes were very impressive, and I was not joking, because even the babies are so well done with the model. That is the cutest thing. I mean, seriously, we got like corgi puppies in the game. Who doesn't want that? And they do little howls. It's so cute. So now that we've gotten a look at the very cute babies, let's go ahead and move on to my overall review for the dingoes in Planet Zoo. Alright, you guys, so here we are with the finale of the dingoes. So we've looked at quite a lot with these guys, even more than the others. Of course, I kind of get my pre-thoughts as we were exploring their animation, the model. We took a look at the feeding, the drinking, the enrichment interaction, the hunting, the mating, and of course the puppy birth. All of it. We got a really good look at the dingoes today. And even with everything, I still consider it to be the worst of the pack. And I know that sounds pretty heartless. But again, they as cool as they are and as impressive as they are, I will give Frontier lots of credit. They obviously know too that this creature is the weakest of the whole pack. It just is, because it's the one we could have done without. You know, and oh my god, those howls are so cute. Those little howls are so cute. Frontier knows themselves that the dingo was an unnecessary creature, but they still went all out to make it. I feel like they knew. Since they knew it, they probably wanted to make it all more worth it, you know, so that when you actually buy the pack and experience the dingo, you won't regret it. And you know what? I think people won't regret it. These little guys are really well done. I give Frontier huge props. This is easily the most impressive canine in the whole game. So there's a lot to the dingoes, and again, I still find it to be the worst creature, simply because we could have done without it, and they really don't contribute a whole lot. But they are well done, and I feel like the best rating for them would have to be a solid 8 out of 10. I feel like that's well deserved. You know, again, don't contribute much to the game, and we could have lived without them, but if you get past that, you actually get into the game and enjoy them, and you know what? You can learn to love them. Because honestly, I think I am. They're actually some pretty cool creatures. I hope you guys agree. Hopefully some of you feel a little bit better about the dingo, because certainly I do. And now we have to move on to the most interesting and ambitious creature of this whole pack. Let's take a look at that fuzzy koala. Let's do it. And so guys, here we are with the furry mod of Yoda. That is how I see koalas. Now, koalas. There is so much to be said about this one. Holy crap. Now, this is easily the most ambitious and interesting pick of all the animals, in my opinion, and I just want to alone give Frontier props for even trying them, even if it's not perfect, and I'll tell you right now, it's not. There are issues, while also having positives. I'm a very mixed, I have a lot of mixed feelings about the koala after experiencing them. They do spend a lot of time on the ground while also going up in the trees. And there is more to complain about, though the biggest issues with the koala I want to save for when I do my final thought. I just want to give my thoughts on what we're looking at right now. So the model. Let's talk about the model. It's an easy thing. I really like the koala model. It's well done. It's cute. It's fuzzy. It's basically what you'd want. And I always try to envision what koalas would look like in Planet Zoo. And you know what? Frontier have gone out and basically made their own type of. It's not necessarily a real koala. It's a Planet Zoo koala. Let's just consider it that in every way, not just the model. I see it here. It looks like something that fits Planet Zoo, and I like that. And again, I know the big issue here is with the climbing, and we will explore, and we will see them climb. I will show you guys footage of them climbing. also have to, deal with them being on the ground a lot. Now, there are more issues with the koala besides the fact that they're on the ground more than up in the air. But again, we'll get into that later on. Anyway, though, we've seen enough of them on the ground for right now, and them just walking around and looking at their model. I want to dive deeper into the actual mechanics of it, so let's go ahead and skip over to them in the trees before we even look at the feeding, drinking, and enrichment interaction. Alright guys, finally, we are seeing them climb, but for some reason from inside the tree. I don't get that. Oh, there we go. Hold on, he's almost got it. There we go. So yes, the koalas do climb. Unfortunately, though, it has taken them 10 minutes now to finally get to it. After I cleared out everything and gave them the chance to climb, they finally got to it after quite a while. So the big thing for many people is just to know how long they're going to be up off the ground, because I think everyone can accept and is expecting the koalas to not be fully arboreal. Like the red pandas, red pandas are fully arboreal, but in the game, they spend a lot of time on the ground, and eventually people kind of got over that. But I think, at least for the koala, we all had hopes that they'd at least be more arboreal, that they'd be pretty arboreal, but not fully arboreal, enough to where we see them half the time off the ground and half the time on the ground. I could live with something like that. But unfortunately, they don't. It has taken 20 minutes now, since I placed them in, for them to even get up here, and they have had access to the tree the whole time. I don't know why, it just takes them so long, and they do seem to be quite comfortable chilling out on the ground, as much as being in the trees, and that's okay. I can bite the nail and accept it. So all of this is iffy. It just depends on your preference. What do you want? Do you want them to be more on the ground, or more on the trees, or 50-50, because it can't be one or the other, obviously. And for me, again, I spent a lot of time looking at them already. It seems to be like they're on the ground more, just like the red panda, and some people may or may not like that. I think many people won't. Personally, I think Frontier should just, through an update at least somehow, slightly or hopefully largely improve it. Just at least a little bit, you guys. Give us anything from maybe more accessible eucalyptus trees, or just like tinker with their coding, make sure they actually climb more, any way possible for them to actually get up off the ground more. And if they never do, then you know what, I'm actually not going to complain about it. I'm not. My big thing with the koala right now is the fact that we even have them. That is huge for me. They didn't have to do this, and I do want to elaborate more upon this, though we also have other things to look at them. There is, however, before we move on to the eating, drinking, and enrichment, there is, however, one really big issue. And actually, I think I'm going to save it for the end. Maybe you've already spotted it. I don't know. Also, I almost forgot to mention that, yes, this is actually how the koalas climb in the game. They will stick with the eucalyptus trees, which is really accurate and actually really awesome. I mean, look at that. I'm all the way down on the ground. It's almost all the way up there, and it looks amazing. Now, they can still use the climbing platforms that we usually use for our primates in the game, or red panda, whatever. They will still use those, but it does not count as a form of enrichment. The eucalyptus trees are their main form of climbing. So I just wanted to point that out right now while they're still up here off the ground. But let's go ahead and move on to eating, drinking, and enrichment. Alright, first up, we're looking at the feeding animation. So, of course, they do feed them eucalyptus. You pretty much have to. That's all they eat. And it's kind of funny watching them eat on a platform, because it's kind of famously known that they are factually one of the dumbest animals because of their brain to body size ratio. They have a smooth brain. So if you were to take what they eat, which is eucalyptus, and put it on a plate, they wouldn't know how to eat from it. They really wouldn't. They just don't. Their brain doesn't think like that. Which is kind of funny then, because now we're seeing them eat on a platform instead of a tree. And you know what? Speaking of eating from a tree, in a little bit, after we take a look at their drinking animation, these guys have a very special feeding animation. I'm sorry, not feeding, enrichment animation with a very interesting food enrichment. We'll talk about that. I mean, it is eucalyptus, but it's done in a very cool way, a very proper way. Hey guys, so this is a bit of a mid video, or this is a bit of a mid koala analysis surprise. But after like 20 minutes now, they will not drink water. And I completely forgot that koalas get all the water they need from the eucalyptus. Did Frontier implement that, or am I just going crazy? I just wanted to make that point. I know we've seen all the animals drink water today, but unless this guy is about to actually go down for the first time and drink water, then I actually believe that maybe they have been drinking water from... Maybe they've really been getting water from the eucalyptus. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just going crazy. Or maybe he's about to get water. We'll see. Or, no. He's heading back up. Holy crap. Yeah, guys. I think koalas are actually getting water from the eucalyptus. I'm not going to lie. There are some really good things about this guy. I still want to save my final thoughts for the, for the finale of the koala. But it does appear that they do not drink water, and my best guess is the game is actually, has implemented them getting water from the eucalyptus. Or you're supposed to get that kind of idea, because it's just a game, but I think that's the truth. So let's go ahead and just move on to the really amazing enrichment items. Alright guys, so here are the koala enrichment items. These are the toy enrichments. Of course, we have a scent marker. We have these wind chimes, which I can't tell if they are new or not. I think I've seen them before, maybe I haven't, I don't know. And the typical mirror, which they don't, for some reason, no creature ever really interacts with. Whatever. But of course, the really special thing is this. This is their only food enrichment, of course, because, they only eat eucalyptus. And of course, they actually use it. I'm not kidding. They will climb up this tree and eat eucalyptus from this little canister. And it's amazing. And of course, we are going to see it. So let's go ahead, call a keeper, and let's watch them do what they naturally do. Alright, and here you guys, finally, after waiting like another 20 minutes, we get to see what koalas are best at. Being adorable and lazy at the same time, as they pleasantly eat their toxic leaves. This is amazing. It does appear these leaves have gone bad. Unfortunately, like I said, it's taken like 20 minutes, and I've just been watching them do their things, and my opinions have changed a little bit. I'm glad I have my final thoughts, because I'm going to conclude on how I think koalas are best represented in Planet Zoo. As you see, the eucalyptus is bad, which I didn't even think that would cause flies to join, but whatever. As you saw, though, they do climb up the enrichment tree, and they enjoy eating the eucalyptus, as they naturally do. It's quite frankly one of the best enrichments in the game, as it gives them the chance to do what they always do, and I love that. And as you can see, they still do spend time on the ground, as well as up in the trees. Now that we've seen them eat, didn't see them drink for actually good reasons, and we just saw them eat old eucalyptus, let's move on to the miracle of birth. Alright guys, so we have seen them climb, we have seen them on the ground, we've seen them model, we've seen them eat, we've seen them drink, we've seen them interact with enrichment, but just like the kangaroo, we must see the amazing birth. That is the really special thing we must experience with the koalas today, and it's of course, the Joey birth. It's the exact same thing as the kangaroo. The babies pop their head through the pouch and out pop the baby koalas. It's the cutest thing ever, and we're going to watch as much as we can of it. She should hopefully sit down, and we'll see that little baby head pop out. Just keep watching. Look closely. And there it is. Oh my god, that is so cute. They didn't have to give this to us. Both the koala and the kangaroo rock with the marsupial's birthing animation. Just watch it. The little guy is about to pop out. Here we go. That is so cute. And there it goes. And it climbs up on the mother's back and everything. It doesn't climb on the back. I'm sorry. That's actually one thing the game doesn't have. It doesn't climb up on the back, but I meant like the mom, as you saw for a moment, it cradles it. And there we go. This little guy is now out on his own and is free to explore the world. And it's just amazing. And yeah, it looks a little weird that the mom will go off and leave the Joey around, which is not accurate at all. But I can get past that. It's the fact that we still actually have... Oh, I know the baby will stick with the mom, but, we don't see the mom carry the baby. We don't see the baby being carried by the mom. None of that. It's just... the baby will just follow, and that'll be it. And I can accept that. It's the fact that we have the marsupial birthing right, and it's just the most amazing thing in this whole pack. I think it is. I mean, look at that little face. It's so cute. Okay, guys, so here we are with the finalization of the koala. Now I've had more time to experience them since I made that first opening with them, and I've played with them for at least another half hour to an hour now, which is a bit more than I did before. And out of everything I've seen, I want to just conclude with with pros and cons. I have made a list of pros and cons, and we're just gonna name them because I feel like that's the best way to do it. So as far as like pros go, of course they do climb and they go off the ground at least 50% of the time. For me, I've seen. And the climbing looks great. It really does as they make their way up, and especially when you're on ground level and you look up and you can see them in the tall eucalyptus trees as they really should be in the wild. It's amazing. And then yes, they are on the ground the other half of the time, and it doesn't look bad. It really doesn't. So I'm not going to consider a pro or a con. It's just how it's got to be. But a pro is the fact that they are, of course, really good climbers in the game, and I can appreciate that. And it really looks fine. Another pro. The fact that they are fed properly and they actually do what they naturally do. They will, eat the eucalyptus off the platform, which does look a little iffy, but at least they climb up the enrichment tree and will eat the eucalyptus from there, and that looks really good. That's what they naturally do, so I have to give them props for that. A third pro would be the fact that they actually get their water from the eucalyptus, or at least appears to be, unless I've done something wrong, but I did not see them ever drink water, and I think it's because, they've been eating the eucalyptus and in real life, koalas get all their water from the eucalyptus. So that's an awesome pro. Seriously, that's really cool. And the last pro, of course, is the babies and how it's done, just like with the kangaroos, so it's a pro for them too. The fact that they are proper marsupials in Planet Zoo with the pouch and the birthing, and it's amazing, just amazing. And besides, those babies are so cute. So of course, that is one really big pro for me. Now there is one huge con that could easily outweigh all of them for everyone. This con is really big, and that's the fact that the kangaroo, oh my god, I almost just called them kangaroos. It's the fact that the koalas never sleep in the game, ever. Out of all the hours I've spent looking at them now, not once have they even dared to sleep in the trees, or heck with it, even on the ground. They don't even sleep on the ground, which would, look pretty bad, but even then they'd still be sleeping. They don't even shut their eyes for more than a couple seconds. What the heck, Frontier? Every other animal in the game sleeps except for them. They should be the sleepiest animal in Planet Zoo, and currently they're the only one who doesn't sleep. Heck, even the tank animals sleep. I feel like it's a really big miss. Frontier, koalas don't sleep in Planet Zoo. That's an issue. Maybe it's just my game, the version I'm playing on. I don't know. But that needs to be fixed upon because, again, that is a huge mistake. Koalas sleep 22 hours every day and spend the other couple to 3, maybe 4 hours just eating, drinking, and pooping, and then back to sleeping again. So what the heck, Frontier? They still have a chance to fix this, and I hope they do. I really hope they do, because that is a huge miss. I don't know, guys. For you, what does that huge con outweigh the pros? Is it worth it? Can you enjoy the rest of them, knowing that they don't sleep? Let me know what you think. But I'm going to go ahead and end this part with the koala. Let's go ahead and do a final ranking of all the creatures. Okay, everyone, here we are. We are at the end of the video. It's been a long one. I'm incredibly tired. I think that's obvious by the end of that last recording. I don't know what I was saying. I mean, I was telling the truth. The koalas are surprisingly well done, with some issues here and there. But I just want to do a final ranking because my opinions have changed drastically. They've constantly gone up and down with all these creatures. Australia is a unique and rather beautiful place, and you know, Frontier knew what they were doing, and I will say they have done a fairly well job of giving us the best kind of Australia they can. And if I had to rank them, I mean, this is excluding the tank animal because it's just not fair to compare it to the habitat animals, but if I was going to do a final ranking, for me, number 1 still has to be the southern cassowary. It's just, nothing about it is wrong. It's fully perfect in every way, and I think it's going to become kind of a fan favorite. And my second favorite, of course, still has to be the koala. I mean, they're just so cute, and they actually, Frontier have done a really good job with them. Sure, they are on the ground, and it doesn't look really bad when they're on the ground, but they also climb tall eucalyptus trees just as they do in the wild, giving you that feeling that, hey, these are like real koalas, and I love it. And they climb up to the eucalyptus enrichment, and they will eat the eucalyptus. They will get water from the eucalyptus and never drink it from an actual fountain, that fountain down here. They'll never do that. They will do what koalas really do, and that is amazing. So many pluses and negatives with the koala, but overall, I just love them. They are cute and a really cool inclusion. And for my third favorite, of course, is the red kangaroo. In so many ways, it's done right, pretty much every way, except for the fact that they are not capable to be in a roo walkabout, which does bother me, as it's one of the main things I was looking forward to. But hopefully that'll be improved upon fairly soon after launch. And yeah, and besides all of them, of course, in last place, but surprisingly a very cool creature, is the dingoes. I was surprised with how well Frontier utilized them. They are well done for a canine, and actually are more unique than all the other canines in the game, and actually are probably the best. I think they're my favorite canine, and I can appreciate them for that. Still would have picked another Australian creature, I think we all would have, but I love them for what they are. And yeah, I'm going to conclude that Frontier have done a very good job with this pack and its animals. I cannot wait to see what else they do in the future. We still have more DLCs to explore down the line. With every DLC they do, they are trying new things, and it's kind of opening up a new world for Planet Zoo as time goes on. So again, cannot wait to see what the future beholds. And yeah, so I'm going to end it with thanking all of you for watching this episode. I'm going to go take a nap because I am tired. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about each of these creatures. What was your favorite? What was your least favorite? What do you think they should be? What should be improved upon? What's good enough? Let me know what you guys think. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.